So from a certain point of view, Superman has won the summer box office. Superman has officially passed Jurassic World Rebirth at the domestic box office. It is now the third highest grossing film of 2025 in the US. Well, and Canada, because we're roped into the domestic box office. So yeah, Superman, third highest grossing film of 2025. Wow, that's amazing. Until you start to look at the numbers and realize that, yeah, it's not exactly that great. Okay, it's third behind Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch. And it's funny, right? Because Lilo and Stitch, as it sits right now and until the end of the year, and depending on how you're going to measure that stuff, is going to be the only billion-dollar film. But yeah, it's $2 million behind Minecraft that failed to break $1 billion. Got real close. What, 955? I think was the final tally on that one. But Superman sitting in third place, and it's very likely that it's going to stay there, of course, until the end of the year. But just past Jurassic World Rebirth, which has, you know, absolutely slowed to a crawl at the box office. But yeah, there's still a little bit of life left in Superman, in so much as it can put a little bit of distance between itself and Rebirth. But I also want you to take a look at the ticket sales in particular and realize that, holy shit, man, the difference between Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch, 9 million tickets, which obviously by the end of Superman's run, even though it's supposed to be heading to digital in about a week, 2 weeks time, that is an enormous chasm. And this is another metric, something else that we're going to be talking about, I think, over the weekend, or maybe we have already, in regards to, yeah, the faulty premise of the box office in general. But when when the conversation around Superman eventually bounces back to reality and we stop doing the, oh my god, guys, it's just crushing at the domestic box office, when people start to look back on the year and go, oh shit, wow, what a horrific year. And it very much signaled that the superhero genre, it's not quite dead, but it is definitely entering hospice at this point in time. Because nobody's going to be looking specifically at the domestic box office. Once Superman leaves, nobody's going to bring this up anymore. Like, it's a done and dusted metric. Yeah, cool. It's significant to point out just the splits that you see between two countries as opposed to the rest of the world. That's very interesting to see how things shake out. But yeah, when you take a look at the worldwide box office, like, okay, first and foremost, for the same reasons that I wanted to go ahead and completely discount paying lip service to the domestic box office, like that Ninja 2, bro, made $1.9 billion in China, and it's apparently the highest grossing movie of the year. It's like, hey, you could just wipe that off there. Nobody's fucking seen that shit. It made $17 million in the States. Like, fuck off. So yeah, so Lilo and Stitch at 2, Minecraft at 3, Jurassic World, yeah, actually still more successful than Superman. And then you got How to Train Your Dragon, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which I didn't realize is going to get close to $600 million. That's almost about as much as they spent to make the goddamn thing. But then you got Superman in at 7 or 6, if we want to be fair. Like F1's doing good and it's holding strong, but it's probably not going to catch up to Superman because, yeah, it heading into its fourth weekend at the box office, fourth or fifth weekend at the box office, fifth weekend at the box office. Like, it's still going to make some money, and it's just had, like I said before, you know, a tremendous hold. Like, people continue to, I don't know how many people are going back and watching it, but at least word of mouth, and if people have some spare time, and it's like, there's nothing better to do right now, because in general, the world is, well, there's things going on, but none of it's really all that engaging. Like July and August have been just weird months in general, but I digress. So yeah, it's still going to be in a hell of a lot of theaters. A 45% drop in its fourth weekend is pretty fucking remarkable. So yeah, even if it makes aggressive single digits, low double digits in its fifth weekend, that would be amazing. I'm still thinking probably somewhere around $7-8 million is what it's going to end up doing, because yeah, it's going to lose some theaters, because there are some movies that are coming out this weekend. And even just looking at that full fourth week out there, it's still, yeah, it is still, at least for the numbers that have been reported, it is still yet to have a 6-digit day, which is, 27 days into its release. Pretty damn impressive. And yeah, it could touch that mark, and it very much looked like it's going to once the Thursday numbers come in, but even still, that's 28th day before it gets to that. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. And it's apparently resident enough for Warner Brothers to let James Gunn, confirm that he's not just not just writing, but he's also going to be directing the next movie in the Super family, at DC Studios after the Superman success. Oh, for fuck's sakes, man. Now, here's the thing. I said this before, I'm happy somewhat that Superman is successful. It's like one bad movie. Okay, that's fine. We can go ahead and dismiss that. But, hoping that now that there's something steady going on at DC, I was just hoping for other creatives to come in and take advantage of these IPs. But no, apparently James Gunn's just going to be running Superman into the ground for the foreseeable future, or I don't know, the rest of the Super family. Great, so we're just going to have another fucking team-up movie, even though, Superman is going to be a movie about Superman. Even though you had the Justice Gang, you had all of those stupid villains. You had Supergirl at the end of it. It was pretty much a James Gunn movie. And now if this one's just going to be Super Family, so yeah, if it's going to be instead of Superman 2, Superman and Lois, or if they're just going to fast track it to get Lois pregnant, so we just have, little super kids going around. A little Jonathan Kent or something like that, sizing up little Asian twinks to later have a love affair with. God damn it, man. There's so much cringe stuff that James Gunn can pull from. But then again, he told us that this Superman movie was supposed to be based on All-Star Superman, but don't see that DNA there at all whatsoever. But yeah, James Gunn will write and direct the next installment in the Super family. Fantastic. And once we get confirmation and a little bit more information about the other half of World's Finest, I'm just, I really don't want this, okay? James Gunn had previously said in various interviews during his Superman press tour that he was writing a new movie featuring Corenswet Superman in it, although he always remained coy on whether it was a standalone Superman sequel or something else. Zaslav provided no clarity there, opting to say next movie in the Super family. But it's news that Gunn will direct the movie in addition to writing the screenplay. He did the same dual role on Superman. Yes, Warner Brothers recently relaunched the DC Universe with Gunn's Superman, which ignited to a middling $125 million domestic opening in early July and has since generated $315 million in North America and $550 million globally, which still is going to go on and lose money because, like we went over the numbers there, guys, it might creep over. Maybe gonna creep over $600 million. You might get that. But, like I said, it's gonna be losing a bunch of theaters, even as it sits heading into the weekend. What are we at, 3,500 theaters? I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't shed another 500 screens or something like that. At the low end, it could be even higher than that, of course. But yeah, for a film, even if we go with their funny money logic of 225 and what are they copping to, $150 million in marketing? This thing needs north of 650, 700 in order to break even. That's not happening. But the next time James Gunn's Totally Not Superman 2 rolls around, after the flop that Supergirl is very much going to be after Clayface, as long as it has a muted budget, it might end up turning a nominal profit, but it's not going to have any of those eye-bugging profits attached to it. Like, there's going to be a lot riding on this, and if this is going to be the third movie in waiting, fourth canonical to come out, people are going to have their eyes cast to something coming out in 2027, because David Zaslav had a couple of other things to say, as well as the Batman 2 set to film in spring, and they are holding firm to that October 1st, 2027 release date. Warner Brothers Discovery has officially confirmed that Batman Part 2 will begin filming in spring of 2026. Yes, aiming for an October 2027 release. Fuck, man, that's a lot of time. That is a lot. That is that dark cloud, okay? Pun somewhat intended, hanging over the rest of the DCU, because when we can honestly have a conversation about the failure of Superman at the box office, when we get those receipts for Supergirl, for Clayface, for the rest of that bullshit that has been fucking strewn about HBO, a real breath of fresh air of the Batman Part 2, which I'm still not convinced is ever going to happen, because the spring is still a long time away. There still could be some delays that end up happening, because even at Warner Brothers, Like, there's another movie that Andy Serkis, who plays Alfred in a Matt Reeves version of Gotham, like, he's got to direct and act in the Hunt for Gollum movie. Another thing that I really don't want. Like, I really don't want that. For as much as I don't want another James Gunn Superman movie, I just, man, I don't want another Lord of the Rings thing, especially after War of the Rohirrim, and especially after Rings of Power, which is vaguely Lord of the Rings-ish. But yeah, he's, like, Serkis has got to work on that, and that was already pushed back, so I don't know, man. I really don't know. Until I see a completed project, I'm not convinced that this thing is ever going to exist. But yes, they're aiming for an October 1st, 2027 release date. Fuck, man, that's wild. News came via the company's second quarter shareholder letter, yes, which also highlights the next wave of projects from DC Studios co-head James Gunn, of course. But yes, after years of delay, the Batman Part 2 is finally moving forward. Matt Reeves completed the script in June. So, well, he completed it, and they still haven't finalized it, but it is quote-unquote completed. And the sequel has entered pre-production. Robert Pattinson is back as Gotham's Dark Knight, and Colin Farrell will reprise his role as the Penguin. Oh, okay, cool. So confirmation on that, connecting directly to HBO Max spin-off series. Exactly. And yeah, Zaslav says that the Penguin and a Batman Part 2 are part of Gunn's 10-year plan for the DC universe. So, don't necessarily know what that means, in so much as, yeah, it's going to be there. We've designated it an Elseworlds project, unless, of course, it comes out and does gangbusters at the box office, and yeah, we still don't know what the fuck we're doing with Batman, so, given that Clayface is going to be a genuine horror movie, and we got the lighter tone of Superman, and then you got the different disparate tones and tenors of the animated stuff, could we still find a way to backdoor in Robert Pattinson's Batman with a grittier aspects of Matt Reeves' version and interpretation of The Dark Knight? I don't know, man. Like, this is still, even at this point in time, for as much as Zaslav and Gunn want to continue to say that, oh yeah, no, we're just crushing it at the box office, you know, we got great reviews on this. How is all of this stuff gonna look 1, 3, 6 months from now, a year from now? Is anybody gonna have a favorable opinion about Superman? Is anybody coming out of Supergirl gonna go, oh god, I'm really looking forward to another installment in this cringe iteration of the quote-unquote super family? Zack Snyder was bad because he was too teenage, edgy, and dark and dour. This is just James Gunn is just a different type of cringe. And if Matt Reeves comes out and it's just the same way that the Batman Part 1 was received, that could end up being an even bigger problem in 2027 than it is in 2025. What a fucking mess. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.